Oh, come now, Fred. There's no need for the dramatics. It's not as if we haven't done this before. We? Fred replied frantically. No, we haven't done anything. You did it. You did everything. Come on, why do you keep dragging me into this stuff? I just want to go home. This can't be happening again, Fred said, looking around frantically. What even is this place? He said as his eyes began to fall upon the projection in the center of the room of the creatures that they were supposed to be fighting. What the hell is that? No. Just send me back. I'm useless. Why did you bring me here? Why does this keep happening? Fred shouted as he began to back away, looking about the room, his eyes darting from place to place, as if he was looking for an exit door, before suddenly rushing up to Delius. Can you do, like, magic and stuff like him? With all the lights and the crazy stuff? Just snap your fingers and send me back home. Please, he said, looking as if he were about to cry. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm sorry, Delius replied. I'm not a sorcerer. I can't do that. I don't know how to send you back. Who the hell even is this guy? You said you were going to help us out, and instead you bring us this guy? He looks like he's about to wet himself. What's the deal? Was it some sort of error? Why did you bring him here? Relax, Regimen said as he began to approach Fred. Now, calm down, Fred. We've been through this before. Just do what I tell you to, and you'll be sent home soon enough. You have to listen to me, Fred shouted, looking between Delius and Jax. This guy is crazy. He's out of his mind. I don't have any superpowers. I can't do any magic. I can't blow stuff up or hit stuff or snap my fingers and make things appear and disappear. I can't do anything. I'm useless. No matter what he says to you, remember that. Fred is useless. You don't need him here. Just send him back. Fred, it's not going to work. The only one who can send you back is me. And I'm not sending you back until we're done with you, Regimen said as he placed his hand on Fred's shoulder. Just relax, Fred. Breathe, Regimen said, before turning to Jax. You really needn't worry. Fred here is actually quite useful, despite his pleas to the contrary. You see, Fred here is very special. You could say he's one of the most special people in the entire universe. And special people achieve special things, don't they, Fred? I haven't achieved anything. You just keep kidnapping me. Again and again. The last time you did this, I lost my job. Fred, I resolved that. I got you a brand new job and everything, Regimen said, placing his arm over Fred's shoulder. Didn't I handle that very nicely, Fred? I'll be sure to take care of you. Even if you lose your job, I'll make sure you get another. It's a very simple matter, Fred. All you have to do is help us out, and eventually you get to go home. You'll be fine. Yeah, maybe physically. But what about the emotional damage? I've seen things. Things that I still can't forget. I just want to go home. I know, Fred, Regimen replied. But wouldn't you like to go home to something a bit more befitting your grandness? I'm not grand. I'm nobody. I work in a factory. Yes, Fred. Of course you do. Well, how would you like to never work in a factory again? I could see to it that your days of toiling away are behind you. How would a very large sum of money fit you? Regimen said, looking slyly at Fred, still gripping him tightly over the shoulder, as Fred stopped whimpering for the moment. Money? How much money? As I said, enough so that you never have to work again a day in your life. How does that grab you? In the moment, Fred stared down at the floor for a moment, as if he were considering his options. "Well," Fred replied, "how about the money is a good start? And you just give me one more little thing." "Oh, certainly, Fred. What is it?" "I am a man of great means." "Name it and it's yours, Fred. All you have to do is help us out." "Well, there's this girl. She works at the town bakery, and she's gorgeous, and she won't give me the time of day." "Oh, I see. So you want this girl to find interest in you. That's the second part of your request?" "Yeah, I want her to go out with me." "Done. You help us out with this little job, and I give you buttloads of money. And a date with your pretty little girl." "But I'm not promising eternal love. That's a much more expensive endeavor. Money is easy to come by. Love is a valuable resource. I'll promise you enough interest for 1 month. If you haven't swayed her into loving you permanently by then of your own accord and effort, you're on your own. And with a buttload of money at your disposal, it should be an easy task. But after that, there's nothing else I'm doing. Agreed?" Fred looked up at him and extended his hand. "Deal," he said rapidly, as if he put no thought into it at all, as Regimen took his arm from his shoulder and clasped his hand tightly. "A deal? Would someone explain to me what the hell is going on?" Jack said, beginning to rub his forehead. "Who the hell is this guy? Why do we need some guy who works in a factory?" "Oh, I suppose I haven't explained it yet, have I? Well, you can rest at ease. Your ship will be perfectly safe, so long as Fred is on it." "What? How in the hell is that supposed to work?" "Oh, it's very simple. You see, Fred here is what you might call somewhat of a universal requirement." "Yeah, apparently," Fred said, as he too began to rub his forehead. "I'm a universal requirement. So much so that the rules of reality do not apply to me, which apparently makes me inexpensible, as he keeps telling me over and over and over again. It's like the worst superpower ever." "What?" Jax replied. "What does that even mean?" "Well, it's quite simple," Regimen replied. "You see, there are tethers in the universe, what you might call necessary building blocks, foundation work. Every universe within the multiverse has them. They are what you might call causality links. You see, in order for the fabric of the universe to exist, it needs a stable foundation to exist upon. In every universe, there are multiple of these, including ours. They take many different forms. Sometimes it's a stone or a crystal. Other times it's a specific star, or even a planet. In the case of our dear friend Fred here, it's a person. Fred, he is one of the tethers that holds our universe together. A causal existence. The universe cannot exist without him. And thus, because the universe cannot exist without him, the universe protects him at all costs, no matter the happenstance or circumstance that you might come across. Fred is beyond harm. He cannot be killed under any circumstance. It does not matter how much power you possess. It does not matter how you attempt to do it. His importance to the universe is so great that even if you were to, say, put him on a vessel and then throw that vessel into the sun, rather than allow Fred to cease to exist, it would wipe the sun itself from existence. The importance of the sun paling in comparison to the importance of Fred. It decided which was more valuable and dispensed of the unnecessary. Other than that, Fred has no powers. No super strength, speed, or magic. He's not even particularly talented. However, his causality bending ability to stay alive is primarily what we're using. You see, so long as Fred remains on board your vessel, the rules of causality, reality, time and space don't really matter all that much. You see, the universe will go through whatever the easiest means of keeping Fred alive is. Since Fred's aboard your vessel, rather than destroying the entire universe, some star system or planet, the easiest way to keep Fred alive is to keep your vessel intact. So the universe itself will bend the rules, stretch causality, cause and effect, bend time, or how the universe is supposed to work in general, in order to ensure Fred's survival. Fred needs to breathe air, so the systems on board your ship that provide air must remain stable, and thus anything that would damage them is somehow averted, Jax replied. So, simply by dint of him being on board the ship stays safe. Because Fred isn't invincible, the universe makes the ship invincible. Well, basically, yes. It may happen in terms of dumb luck, or an outright shifting of the rules of reality themselves. But one way or another, Fred must stay safe. And so, your vessel is safe, so long as Fred is on it. He's your bulletproof shield, your armor, your one invincibility token, compliments of need. Have I told you I hate you? Yes, Fred, several times, Regimen replied. But I don't think you're going to be complaining when you're on your date with your pretty little girlfriend, driving around whatever expensive motor carriage you purchased with the vast sums of money that I'm going to give you. So if I were you, I'd stop complaining. Ugh, Fred said, sighing deeply and staring down at the floor. This so sucks.